Good day, everyone. I am thrilled to be here presenting myself to you to share my thoughts, ideas, and perspectives. My name is Kazaya Milofranco, currently studying at Bohol Island State University, Calapi campus, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. Without further ado, let's begin. Imagine you find yourself in a foreign land surrounded by unfamiliar words and expressions. That moment captures the essence of our discussion. Language acquisition versus language learning. For many of you, these two ideas might sound synonymous, but we really need to know the difference. So let us break them down, understand them, then you will learn their differences. Let's begin with defining these two ideas separately. First, we have language acquisition. Language acquisition generally relates to the idea that language is more of a subconscious process, an almost effortless assimilation of linguistic knowledge. If you think the child learning its mother tongue, you will understand the notion of the language acquisition. Language learning, on the other hand, is more of a focused endeavor that requires a conscious knowledge of the forms and structures of the language. Here it might help you if you think of a typical second language class where attention to forms, structures, and explicit instruction is often given. This seems fairly straightforward, right? Exactly, but people still debate the merits of each language development. So now, I want to show you more of how these ideas differs. I provided some of main differences between the two. Language acquisition is unconscious process where language acquisition refers to the natural subconscious way in which individuals pick up their first language. It occurs without formal instructions, primarily during early childhood. For example, a toddler learning to speak and understand their native language through interactions with family members without explicit teaching. On the other hand, language learning is an intentional process. Language learning is a conscious and deliberate effort to acquire a new language. It involves studying grammar rules, vocabulary, and practicing language skills with a specific goal in mind, often with formal instruction. Another thing, language acquisition does not presuppose teaching. In language acquisition, there is no structured teaching involved. Children absorb language from their environment through exposure to conversations, stories, and daily interactions. They learn grammar, vocabulary, and nuances without being explicitly taught the rules. While in language learning, it presupposes teaching. Language learning typically involves a teacher or structured educational setting where explicit instruction is given. This could be a classroom setting, language courses, or guided learning materials. Learners rely on instructional methods to grasp the language. In language acquisition, child controls the pace. The pace of language acquisition is determined by the child's development stages. Children progress through language milestones at their own rate, influenced by factors such as exposure, cognitive development, and individual differences. While in language learning, teacher controls the pace. In language learning, the pace is often set by the teacher or the curriculum. Lessons progress systematically and learners follow a predetermined path. The teacher guides the students through the material, ensuring a structured and organized approach to language acquisition. From a neurolinguistic point of view, language acquisition and language learning are processed in two different ways and areas in the brain. There are many areas of the brain involved in language acquisition and learning, and in the understanding and articulation of languages. The two main areas are the Broca's area, which is situated in the left frontal cortex and is the word production center of the brain, like it is responsible to the production of the patterns in vocal and sign language. The Wernicke's area in the left temporal cortex is the word recognition center, which is primarily involved in language comprehension. Roughly said, the Broca's area is the one actively involved in language acquisition processes, whereas the Wernicke's area is active in the language learning processes. Although they differ in the methods and underlying processes, both processes contribute to a person's ability to use a language effectively, whether acquired naturally or through formal instruction.